Hello, today is May 22, 2022. So let's do the Ukraine war update. First, there is some major progress on the Russian side. Basically, remember Russian 3 weeks ago break through the Popasna, right? They expanded to the west and to the north. And today they have announced that they have occupied the city on this highway. So this is theoretically they completely seal the Severodonetsk and Luhansk, the two sister cities. The soldier around here is about 8,000 Ukraine soldiers. So they have no way to get out. In the meantime, Russia also make progress on the Izium to the west. They are very close to this particular junction. And in the meantime, they are actually heavily bombard the Novorossiysk city right now. To the south, they are right now trying to circle this particular city on the northern of the Donetsk. This particular city, they are trying to attack it. Here, this one. There is very heavy fighting. Basically, this part is very quickly will be circled in all four directions. Right now, it's in over half of the direction. So this is a big direction I think Russia is going to be very much emphasized on, because first, this is close to this big city. So on the Russian side, they have a very easy defense and supply, right? They can easily supply this city. So I think they want to go through around here. That's also the very good coordination to the north. If you go here, it's too far away to coordinate. So basically, if this one breaks through, it will threaten both sides. I'm pretty sure Russia will have a very heavy attack to the west through this. And also, they want to probably control this particular hub or highway hub. This is incredibly important. We talked about it a few months back. So another thing is that on the Marinka, I will show you later, there is a heavy bombardment of by the Russian side. There is heavy, within a day, they dump about a few hundred artillery shot to this particular city, a very small city. Think about several hundred. That's a very, seem to be Russian want to go from, they said probably is a major offense, but they said they also trying to maybe form a smaller circle about this particular space, because there is heavy defense around this land. We can also expect the Russian will start from around this land, because this attack will basically put a pressure on all the eastern defense line on the Ukraine soldier. So that's roughly what is going to happen pretty soon, and actually is already happening. See, they circle this one, this 8,000 soldier. On the whole front, there is about 50 to 60,000. So I think they will cut into several pieces and trying to circle this area. In the meantime, last time we already said that the Azov steel factory already been controlled by the Russian. There is just the Ukraine soldier has already surrendered about 2,440. I think there are still some. Maybe there is some coordination between Russia and Ukraine on the surrender, because I think Russia cannot handle like when all the soldiers come out, so they are handled by batch. Most of the soldiers is sent into the city where there is a big prison. So the prison city is very famous actually in Ukraine. It's called Olenivka. This particular city has a big prison camp. So they are sent into here. Interestingly, they're very close to the Ukraine, so defense line seem to be Russian are fairly confident. Probably because they have the air control. They are not afraid to being attacked. But in any case, this is very interesting. They send us to the city where it's so close to the like a battlefield. I think in general, the Chechen soldiers are breaking down into smaller groups and dispersed into other Russian military units. In one sense, to lead those other groups. Second one is probably more important, is just teach the Russian. Normal Russian soldiers are pretty bad in terms of training and fighting skill. Those are too young to be able to be a real good soldier. So that's why we see on the northern front, Russian soldier is really terrible. But don't estimate that Russia is a huge country and has a huge population. They are very powerful. I think United States and the West underestimate Russia. Russia is a very powerful country, and they will. As I told you several months back, I always say the same thing. Russia is like a 30 years old bully. Ukraine is like a 12-year child. If you support the children with life and with a stone to hate the bully will beat up the children terribly. Ukrainian people will suffer. Ukrainian territory will lose. That's how the result will be. It's going to be 100% for sure. It's like no amount of military support, weapon support can change that, because Russia is very determined on this, and they are powerful enough to control the eastern part, southeast part of the Ukraine. They are also very close, so do not. Another thing is that all the Western media are overly unjustifiable. Like Russian and West, both sides are lie. Like 99% of media in the West are just deliberately trying to denigrate the Russian, trying to lie about the Russian. Like if there is like a bomb thrown into school, they will say, "Oh, Russian deliberately trying to like." One of the reasons I try to do this video is because I saw it's just very ridiculous. If West media and the West military industry is trying to with media war, everyone is forced to support Ukraine. Basically, so many, 10 billion, 40 billion recently is approved by U.S. Senate and Congress. Those money will lead to many thousand, tens of thousands of people, Ukrainian soldier and Russian soldier to die, and many even more civilian to die, and all the Ukrainian people will really suffer. So it's not something good for Ukraine, for the $40 billion military aid. The only beneficiary is probably the military industry and Biden probably will claim he changed the Afghanistan debacle, right? He's so a strong face. He's trying to save his reputation and opinion pool, because Biden's opinion pool dropped mainly because of Afghanistan debacle. So he's trying to be a strongman in this war to support, to bring a NATO military to support Ukraine. But he actually is for his own benefit, right? As a Christian, I know that human beings are inherently selfish and evil. Do not think about like a Democrat. They are like a globalist. They welcome South America immigrants, illegal immigrants. That's not their interest. All they wanted is the vote from the Spanish and Latino. So there's a, in my opinion, these are bad people. They are lying all the time. Think about Biden. How many words he said is honesty. Like he said, Ukraine is certain to win. Russian, like Putin, should be removed. Who will remove who? Putin will be reputation and the opinion pool will be boosted by the Ukraine war. Like he already got boosted by conquer the Mariupol, right? He will continue to boost Putin's reputation and opinion pool will continue boosted by the Ukraine war. The West will just been liar, been saying that thing. Go to listen to the Chicago professor John Mosmier's talk. You can then realize how stupid is the Washington politician, especially some of the Democrats. Okay, let's also show you some information about the surrendered soldier from the Mariupol. Think about that. See, many of the people have like the Nazi Germany symbol on their body. So what I'm saying here is that the Western media is never going to broadcast this information, but this is a fact. I'm not supporting Russia. I do not support the Ukraine war. I just don't want the both sides to stop the fighting. Do not try to put more weapons into the battlefield. That's all I hope. And also, I don't want the Ukrainian people to suffer because the bigger superpower are trying to compete indirectly. This Ukraine war is actually a proxy war. You see, the Russian is not lying to say the Ukrainian soldiers are like they have some Nazi symbol and Nazi idea. In fact, if you look at the U.S. Congress history, several times in the last 5 years, U.S. Congress has labeled this group, Azul group, military group, as the Nazi, neo-Nazi group. So it's simply because like Russia is against them. So right now, like U.S. Congress never talk about this. Never talk about it. They used to also think the group as a neo-Nazi. So you see how is the U.S. political so one side. This is very dangerous also. Like when we put about $40 billion new U.S. military equipment to Ukraine field, the battlefield, it's very likely. Suppose if Russian is get pressed very hard, they may well throw several nuclear bombs because they don't want to lose, right? Putin don't want to lose. The Russian is a bully, right? They will do anything to fight back. So either Russian win, or if Russian is going to lose, Russian will fight back very heavily. So the United States is never going to gain anything from the war. The the Democrat, the Biden is basically sacrifice U.S. interest, sacrifice Ukraine soldier, and sacrifice Ukraine as a country. Basically, those are really bad people. This is also another symbol. This is the symbol for the top. This is also like in the height of the Nazi party military called Nazi SS. This is Hitler's image imprinted in the body of the Azov soldier. So another one, this one is heavy fighting going on in Marinka. This is what I said earlier, several hundred bombs was thrown into the Marinka, the city very close to the Donetsk city in here, Donetsk city. So the fighting seemed to be going very heavily from all directions. So it's pretty aggressive fight since like the end of the Mariupol, because the best military force for Russia is Chechen military force. And they are now finished the job in Mariupol. They transfer to other part of the fighting. I think the scale, the strategy of the Chechen soldier actually is very simple. They just so right now the Ukraine soldier pretty much the only defense is go through the high-rise building of the civilian building or factory building. So what the Russian did is that they just threw the flame bomb into this building. The building will burn, and the soldier will either be burned or have to withdraw. So that's what they are trying to do, especially after civilians mostly have left. About 90% have left to the west. So this fight will be relatively more easier than Mariupol. So I don't see there's any a chance Russian cannot succeed in this area. So that's my personal opinion anyway. But I'm trying to balance the two sides. There is both sides has good and bad. Russian is a bully, is also a bad guy, but Washington politics are full of liar, dishonesty, including all the media. Most of the journalists are dishonest. They are just tell one side of the story. Anyway, I hope we do not try to inflame the attitude of either side, right? So if West only support Ukraine, Ukraine will support, feel, oh, they have all the reason to fight, right? They are the justified, they are fighting the evil. So this will continue forever, right? So you cannot, when a bully is fighting 12 years old, you don't want to flame the temporal leader side, right? You want to have them separated, both feel peaceful. You do not want to agitate any one of them. So that's my opinion. So, all right. Thanks for listening. If you enjoy the video, please hit the like button. And also, please do watch John Mesmer's talk. His talk is 10 times better than my talk. You definitely should watch his video if you haven't. I guarantee you will be happy for watch his video. All right, thanks. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe. And also share among your friends. Let's everybody know how Democrats are trying to agitate the global opinion and trying to portray like a Russian was a devil and Ukraine is a hero, and trying to put more weapons into the battlefield. I think this only benefit the politician and the defense military. And the Ukraine people, Russian people, global, everybody will suffer. Thanks. Bye now.